Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Kevin Osborne here once again for the final stage of the Inter-Services eRacing Championship. Here we are just about 30 seconds away from the start. Hopefully you can all hear me well. You may have noticed that things look a bit different today. We've had a few technical problems and we're having to stream slightly different to the usual format. Hopefully it shouldn't affect too much of everyone's viewing. I do apologise, but yeah, we've had a few last minute technical hiccups, which has caused some dramas, and now you can hear me on here. So Kevin Osborne here once again. That's all good. There you go, shut me up there. Cool, yeah, so we're about to start then for the men's race then, and off we go. Currently just watching Jack Fianl. They've already started to push the pace at the front quite strong. If you're watching, please comment in chat. It'd be good to know if we've got anyone watching and who we're cheering for. Hopefully we'll have a good nice mixture of all services watching the final race. So yeah, while we're just underway in that, and before we get into the meat of the race, let's just quickly run down what the actual stage itself. Then stage 4 is 2 laps of the Muckle Yin circuit, which is a new circuit that has currently just come out of the Scotland map. So 23.4 kilometres for 1 lap, to around about a total of 47 kilometres for the full course. It's got quite a lot of lumpy parts in it. As you can probably see from the map in front of you, there's the Sker summit, both north and south, and the breakaway braid, just to name a few of the climbs and that. You end up back into the city itself for the finish, and then you go again for another lap, which will be fun for the riders, I am sure. Just give you a rundown then of the standings then. Sorry, let's go through results first from last night. So race 3, we had the individual time trial in London on the Greater London Loop, and they're the times you've got there: Jack Hindle, Jonathan Warren, and Nick Munro, all the RAF topping the charts there for the men's. And in the women, it was Rosie Wild with just 3 seconds in front of Megan Walker, and then Chanel Mason from the Army, 3rd position there. How that leaves then for the standings. So for the men's standing, Jack Hindle with a clear 52 seconds in front of Jonathan Warren, and then Nick Munro in 3rd there with a 1 minute 26, and Jack Fianl being the nearest non-RAF rider there with 2 minutes 58 behind Jack Hindle. In the women's standings, things get a little bit interesting here. We've got only 19 seconds between 1st and 2nd, with Rosie Wild representing the Army with a 2 hour 21 minutes and 44 seconds, and then Megan Walker 19 seconds behind. Chris Murray there 3rd place with 3 hours 52. So the women's race is definitely one that's going to be exciting for sure. I'm not saying the men's race isn't going to be. I'm sure the men's all services within the men are still going to mix things up and make the racing still interesting. To give you an idea then of the actual overall times then for the men's, RAF will win it in front with 7 minutes, just over 7 minutes in front of the Army, and just over 16 minutes for the Royal Navy. On the women's side, the Army leading with 34 minutes over the Royal Air Force, and the 1 hour 4 over from the Navy. So just to give you an idea then, so it looks like for the women's, it's definitely that standings for the for the individual race that seems quite important. Just going to move back over to the race itself then. Looks like we've got a few people that are just trying to do something. We've got Jay Breeks from the Royal Navy doing a little bit of a dig there. Simon Richards reacting, and we've also got Adam Baker there and a few others. And there's a small little gap that has appeared roughly about wouldn't even say a second there, but it looks like everyone is bringing it back in. going as predicted. Yeah, we're all back in. Lovely. Right, just going to do some other bits quickly and then we'll move over to the women's race. So apologies, I'm just catching up a bit here because yeah, my usual device for streaming has gone up the yeah, it's broken, so I'm just trying to react and do things as we play along. Right, so let me jump into that. So yeah, riders are back in. So the first real, the first effort's going to be on the breakaway bray, which we should be coming up to actually very shortly now. Let's just change the map. Right, while we're doing that, let me just quickly find Swifters. Let's find some other riders from the women's. Let's see what's happening for the women's race. So yeah, women's have already started. Looks like everyone's still together. Yeah. Yeah, looks like everyone is in together here. No one's decided to do anything yet, but we've only just come out of the city. So yeah, it's still quite early. The women. Right, we'll just quickly nip back to the men's, hopefully. If we just go back to me. Jump. And there we go. Yep. So we actually come into a little cheeky little section here. It's not really been actually highlighted on the map, but this one actually is a nice, is a cheeky gradient that they're coming up to now. I'll call it the castle myself. And it does actually have around about 5%, even greater at points on this climb, and can actually can surprise people if they're not ready for it. It looks like for the most part. Oh, that's me. Everyone's still there from the start, which is good. Again, if you are in chat or you are watching and that, please just drop a comment so I know that A, someone's watching, and B, also yeah, that you can actually hear me and that you can view okay. Fingers crossed that you can. So 3 people supposedly are watching currently, so yeah, please just drop a comment if you're in. So this actually is a dirt climb. If you was to do this on your own, it's recommended actually use a gravel bike, as it's got a better it's better designed for the course itself. But who we got there? Ben Savage, who's right in front there? Tom Johnson. So yeah, RAF already trying to do some damage, but Cy Richards is on there. Quite a lot of RAF riders, a lot of doing some digs now, putting the numbers in. We've got Louis Darroch there. Just trying to help pull some of the riders through. Jack there, Jack Pingwild, Tim Robinson. We've got Adam Shivers. A few that have now unfortunately been spat at the back. And Oz there, love the name. Just holding on. Is he going to manage to keep on there? Fingers crossed that he can. Let's just see how he does. Can he keep on? Yeah, it looks like he's catching up there. Worked his way through. I'll see what's happening at the front. It is starting to draw out a bit. Some really crazy numbers going on. 6s and 7s. This is roughly the... when you think it's over, and then it comes back round just for a little bit more. But they do have a reward when they get to the other side. So there's a nice sort of downhill section. Neil Shelley there. Jack's there. Oh, Nobby Clark. So gap there of a couple of seconds now. Just slowly starting to pull away a bit, but there's a downhill. If these riders here, if they just carry on and push a bit more, a bit further, and then have that descent, they might be in luck. But now we've just seen them up and over. We'll just see what the kind of damage is. There's Jack Kindle there, Adam Baker. A lot of RAF riders in the front there. And we got there Tim Robinson just trying to catch on there. I think he's going to make it. We've got Ben Savage being dragged along. Nick Monroe's there. Looks like he's had a technical. And he's gone. Oh dear. So the base of the climb. And they're going to head back towards the breakaway brae again. About 200 metres between these. So they're going to work together. And try and bring it back. Three army riders there, Navy and an RAF. I know probably the RAF won't, Nobby probably won't do much. The army ones, they can probably work together, see if they can close that gap back up. Let's just go back to the ladies now. And we'll go to the women, see how they're doing. Oh, just in time for the climb. There we go. That was good timing. Hopefully we are streaming, we are live 20 minutes. I'm just looking at things and it's suggesting that I'm not live now, but hopefully we are. So if you are in chat, you can see and give me a shout. So who we got then? Kate Pratt, Jess Ward leading the charge. Let's see what she does. Just putting a dig stick on Megan Walker. So Megan Walker has decided, but Megan Walker is going for An attack early. Jess Ward and Laura Furness is there. Chanel Mason. All there. Rosie Wild, a few back. You see just up ahead, that's Megan Walker there. There's a gap starting to build, but Megan Walker unfortunately has got quite a few army riders there just pacing her, basically providing a bit of a train for Rosie just to work her way through the riders and just keep latching onto the wheels as she works her way up to the front. So you can see Megan Walker just in front there on the overhead view. We've got Pippa and Evie Newton as well, just marking her out. Okay, nearly there. I'm just going up and over now, getting to the top. And it looks like everyone's back together. Right. There we go, on the descent. Everyone's pretty much together. I say everyone, but there's a few RAF riders in the pack there, and a large amount of Army riders as well. Hopefully. Right, that's fine. Let's go back to me, and then let's find some of the named riders. So we're just going up to, where are we up to now? So we must have just done the breakaway Bray again. Yeah, so we've got a group here. We have another large group at the front. And Simon Richards still marking out Jack Hindley there as well. Right, hopefully it looks like I'm coming back in with actually some. I can start seeing my stream again. So if you are in chat, please just comment. You can tell me how badly I'm doing today. That's fine. I just need to know that someone is seeing something. and that'd be great. So yeah, Simon Richards, Jack Hindle, Ian Lewis. It's almost the reverse of the women's. There's a load of RAF riders or a few Army riders being swarmed by a load of RAF riders in the men's, whereas in the women's it's a load of Army riders being swarmed, or a load of RAF, or not loads, sorry, a couple of RAF riders being swarmed by Army. So I suppose there's some parallels there. So Ben Savage there on his own, but he's getting just brought in by Tom McMulkin and Nobby Clark. And there's a group here that has formed up. Let's see how they do. They might be able to bring it back over time, or be able to pick some more riders off as it goes on. But here we go. Mark Daly back in. Has he still got socks on? He is still wearing socks. There we go. So, looking at the map on the front, we should be coming to the Sigurd south section soon. 17 kilometres, and the course is around about 24. So yeah, so they're going to be coming up to that climb very soon. And then they'll end up back into the city. So they've almost, I say almost, but yeah, they've nearly done one lap already, and it's been rather quick. With around 25 minutes already gone. So yeah, you can see where the roundabout is on the map. That is their next section of the course. And that's the Jack Ping Wild group. I know Jack was there in fourth, so potentially there might be a podium spot involved, depending on who's in this group or where the third place rider is. And if I just quickly look back to our men's standings, Nick Monroe was our next guy, and then Tom Johnson as well, fifth, just behind. So really, yeah. And Mark Daly as well. So there's a few of the RAF riders that are around. So let's see. T Johnson is there, so that will be one of the potential third place. Is Nick Monroe about? I don't see him. So I'm not sure where Nick is at the moment. Who have we got there? JW. So let's go back onto the race. JW is now dropped. Oh no, he's coming back. He's bringing it back a bit. Good. Oh, he's not only just brought it back, he's getting himself to the front. So the south side is actually relatively quicker in comparison to the north end anyway. I can imagine it's still rough on the legs. Yeah, Mark Daly, Tom Johnson now. Jack Hindle. Our overall leader. It's good to see. I mean, he could take it quite easy. He's over a minute in front of the next RAF rider anyway, Jonathan Warren. So he could take it quite easy, but he's still putting the hurt in. So again, we're up and over, and it looks like it's the same people that started it that's still there. Tim Robinson. I can't see. Got one. Have we lost another army rider? 1, 2. Tim's there. Have we had another disconnect from another rider? We had one less of an army rider, so we may have lost Simon as well within the group, which is unfortunate. So Jack, there's Jack, he's up and over, just behind Ben, Tom. Yeah, it does look like we might have lost another rider, unfortunately. Let's see if I can bring up Swift Power and see what the state of things are at the moment. Okay, while we're doing that then, let's move back over to the women's race. Let's see what's happening over there. Fan view. Okay. So yeah, so like I said, it's almost a mirror here where we've got 2 RAF riders being sworn by army riders. So let's just see what we got coming up. We've just gone over to that little castle section. Results. Simon Richards in there. Anyway, so with the women there for a moment. So we've got there Laura Furness there, just leading up this long kind of draggy section actually before we get to the roundabout. It's around about a K in length. Everyone's still together, which is good. See if we get any live stuff coming through shortly on Swift Power, just to get an understanding of who's still in the race in the men's side. So I'm pretty sure that's Nick Monroe and Simon Richards. That's both unfortunately been. That looks like they've had a disconnect, which is a shame. So I know Simon Richards had a good race on race 2 on the road race where he won. He was with Jack Indall. And yeah, there was a free up breakaway and they end up sprinting for the line and he got it. So yeah, it's a shame if he's dropped out as well. It's a shame if anyone drops out. But we'll say okay. So we've got Megan Walker here now. Just coming up to the roundabout. Let's see what she does as we come up to this section. And she's got one other RAF rider still with her currently, which is good for her. At least she's not on her own. So Hannah Dodwell. So let's see what happens here then. Up we go. 9%. What numbers are we getting? 7 halves. Megan Walker's started to, put a bit of a dig in again. Anyone reacting? No, she's getting a bit of distance. Unfortunately, I do feel with the amount of army riders that are still present that whatever happens, the rest of the army squad can probably help if she does manage to drop Rosie in a big enough gap. The army riders will still be able to basically team trial themselves back to Megan. But we'll see. You never know. This many times up the Sugar summit may just cause enough wear and tear on the legs that the riders don't have anything left. But we'll see. We will see. She's still pulling her gap. 4 seconds from the group. She's definitely trying to put the hurt on. Rosie Wild is there, but she's what is she about? Let's see. Laura Furnace just there. Megan Walker there. So we're talking 6-8 seconds. 6 seconds. Yeah. So let's see what Megan Walker can do then on the flats. Doing that 4, 2, 7, 6, 5, 6. She's still pushing, even though she's going downhill. She is pushing some numbers still to try and build a gap. But unfortunately, on this descent, if there's enough people, you just end up blobbing enough speed down that you don't end up working as hard, and yet you can still travel the same distance. And there's Rosie Wild's in the group. So it looks like they will just be able to catch back on, which I think they are. Unfortunately, what has happened though is Hannah Dodwell, her teammate, has now been dropped. Is now riding with Jess Wall. So see how it plays out. I mean, it might get to a point where it is just the two of them on the climb, battling it out, but we'll see. Right, okay, let's move over to the men's now. Let's see how the men are doing. Quickest way is to do this and do that and do. Oh, no, that's not the quickest way. Let's try that again. Okay, let's find someone the old-fashioned way. Right, so first of all, it's Jack there, Jack Ping Wild. About 30 seconds now from the group of Adam Barker, Ian Lewis, Tom Johnson, the whole RAF crew, and Tim Robinson. Who's that up in front? Jack Hindle. Leading by almost a minute. It seems to not be enough for him, and he wants to do some more damage. So unfortunately, it does appear that we have lost Simon Richards from this group and from the race itself. So yeah, so everyone's now realised that there's a bit of a gap brewing. And they're trying to catch up. Tim Robinson has managed to do the leap. And Jack Hindle still out there front, still bossing it a bit. So we've got 30 seconds behind them. We've got the Jack Ping Wild group. Got Neil Shelley, Tom McMulkin, old Nobby Clark, to name a few. We're just coming up then to this castle bit. Tim Johnson now has decided to push a bit of a dig. Like I said, this little climb itself can catch people out. So it seems like, I don't know, the RAF are wanting just to drop Tim from the group as well. Let's see if Tim's got anything to respond with there. 6, 7. No, I think he's gone back too much. There he is. No, he's just covering it off quite nicely. There's a bit of a gap ahead. We'll see what happens. So 1 lap's down. So already about 4Ks into the first lap, or into the second and final lap. Yeah, everyone's back together after that little excitement. And we're doing at the back. In the next group behind, they're just doing the climbs themselves. Well, how many seconds did we say? 45 seconds now. So I haven't yet done the third or the second time up the north end of the Sigor. So there's still plenty of action to happen. Can this group close in on those in front? Will everyone in that front group have enough matches left? Craig Morris there, Navy as well in this group. What kind of work can they do? Ben Savage. So there's a few Navy riders in here as well. What we just done now? We just missed the breakaway Bray. Yeah, we've just got the reverse, the breakaway Bray there. 3 seconds. This could be a deciding part here. 3 seconds now. Tim Robinson, Mark Daly. Now, for an RAF perspective, they don't necessarily have to ride on this. They could just let Tim do the work. But we'll see what happens. It's got a free Jack Hindle, Adam Baker, and old JW. is, I keep forgetting JW's name. Jonathan Warren, of course, second place. So maybe they might have some hijinks, these two. You know, very comfortably in first and second. Will they just keep it like as it is, or does Jonathan Warren fancy he's the title of individual champ? Have to see. So a quick just jump back over to the women's again. That's fine. Rosie. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, they're all together still. They just come out of the town and yeah, just working their way around the back end to the start of the back of the course. Seems to be exactly the same numbers as they were earlier. Cool, right, that's I know the men are shortly coming up to the cigar section, so that's let's try and catch them. There we go, just in time, back with Jack as we go up the climb. So, looks like Adam is leading the charge. Quite nicely. Quite nicely there, yeah. And then we've got behind Ian Lewis, Mark Daly, Tim Robinson just holding on. Mark's decided to try and break away from these two. Does Tim have any answers to that? Maybe. Mark's now making 3 seconds. You know, this climb definitely does take the legs out of his. Recently, Swift Racing League had a race that was pretty much up and down. At the roundabout, you turn around and then you went back again, which was wasn't fun. He had to do it for 45 minutes, which also wasn't fun. But yeah, so it really can sap the strength out of the leg. So Mark up there doesn't seem too bothered right now. In fact, he's almost managed to bridge over to the Three Amigos in front. 8 seconds, so he has bridged. You got to ask yourself what the other guys doing behind. Are they going to try and do the same? Though the numbers again from the front group, they've maybe realised and they've started to pick it up again. That's so yeah, they've started to pull away again. Maybe they realise that there's a, though it's only one of theirs that's coming over. But maybe they're worried that he might be bringing someone with him. There we go. And the good news for all these is that they've only got to do it one more time, which I'm sure they're thinking about that as they get to the summit of this climb. So mark almost over. The Hindle group clear and heading down, getting the break. Let's see what's behind then. So we've got Craig Morris for the Navy, Nobby Clark with the RAF, Ben Savage and Tom McMulkin, and Jack Pingwall just getting dropped from them. Yes, they're starting to pull away now. 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Yeah, it looks like Jack might be dropped as well, and Neil Shelley as well, about 22 seconds behind. Okay, let's switch back over to the women. Let's see what's happening over there. See what we're getting. There we go. Right. Oh, here we go. Megan Walker has gone attacked again. Rosie's just keeping in touch. And then what we got behind? Excuse me. Yeah, just gone for the breakaway Bray reverse. So yeah, of course, natural and a good tack point. But it would seem that there's a bit of a string of riders. Megan Walker is making a second at the moment. Pippa's there, Minty's there, Rosie Wild. About 2 seconds currently. However, the support is there. It's just behind. Hopefully they carry through, bring that momentum over. Rosie can jump on and she will pull on. Megan again. All she can do is just keep attacking like this and hope that that the numbers start dwindling. Did I just see the nest there? She's got, it looks like she's got Pippa DeWick there with her. So unfortunately she's not alone in the sense of she's got another army rider and the rest of the pack is closing in as well. So it seems like it's staying normal in a way, but you know, how many more matches has the have the army ladies had to spend to make sure that that gap stays, or to close that gap, and how many more matches is left? And Megan goes again, 4.9, 5. It was 5 at one point. She's I mean, credit to her. She's definitely fighting, and we saw that in race 2 as well, when she managed to claw back almost 40 seconds. And she almost actually did the whole minute that Rosie had managed to build on her break, solo break. And yeah, Megan managed to almost pull that back as well. So we know that she's got a lot in the tank. I can imagine she must feel quite isolated at the moment. But yeah, let's see. We'll keep with these then, because they've got the Sigur climb coming up. We've been going for what? Just almost 50 minutes now as well. So we go round. Right, let's see what happens. Rosie Wild there, Megan Walker, yeah, so they're both up front. Right, Megan again pushing the higher numbers and starting to pull a gap, but Rosie responded. She's gone again. Oh, Rosie responded. I think this is all it can be, isn't it? It's keep going until one of them breaks. I think that's pretty much how this is going to play out. Excuse me. So it must be quite intimidating having that many army riders that are just behind you. But equally, I'm sure it's a challenge as well. See how many of them you can spit out. And it looks like she's done exactly that already with that just little section there. She managed to pull 4 seconds. Has Rosie got anything to respond with? Another climb. Steeper one. 5 seconds now. 6, 7. They're starting to pause. There's starting to become a gap. Forget there's only 19 seconds between both Megan Walker and with Rosie Wild leading over Megan Walker. 8 seconds. Ten seconds. She's definitely she's managed to pull a gap. Chanel Mason looks like she's just jumped on the front. Is she working on helping out? I think she is. I mean, if the Army women do pull her back, this will be a great team effort from the Army women. Yes, she's managed to pull a couple of seconds, Chanel Mason, but she has also dropped Rosie in the process. But let's see what happens on the descent. So Megan's just coming through the barrier now, managing 13 seconds at the moment. Yeah, and a personal best. I'm not surprised. That was a real strong effort. And what we got now? 16 seconds. What's going to happen? What can Rosie do in response? I say Chanel Mason's now managed 6 seconds. No, sorry, she is 11 seconds behind. Says Rosie's managing to try to bring back Megan. 5 seconds between her and so currently 16 seconds is the difference, which means that Rosie's still in the lead by just 4 seconds currently. See what can happen, what can be done. 13 seconds out. Rosie Wild there. Have they come back together? So it's two of them together now. I see they're probably going to be working together. I can imagine the DS Rachel McKenzie's probably now giving them some instructions on how to pull this back. They've already seems 10-11, so they are doing it already. You can see there, yeah, 5.3 already pushing some crazy numbers. 9 seconds. Yeah, it looks like Chanel is definitely being used. I say being used, but she's working with as a team. And bringing back Rosie to Megan now. Six seconds now. So we're back to a margin of 13 seconds in Rosie's favour. Are we back on? Nearly 9 seconds. So Megan's now decided that it's time to go again. Ten seconds as pulling away again. It literally was almost there. I'd like to go over and see how the men are doing. Let's quickly see how that is panning out before we come back to this and see what's going on. Right, 7 seconds again. So, right, let's go back to the men's quickly. Oh, we've just caught them on the descent on the final climb. Apologies there. They've obviously gone really quick, rapid there. And how's that looked for the rest of them? So we've got Ian Lewis there, solo. Mark Daly, has he just caught onto the? Oh, he's caught onto the group already, which is really good to see actually, considering he was on his own in a bit of no man's land. So yes, Craig Morris there. We've got Nobby Clark with Tim McMulkin and Tim Robinson now. So he's joined onto that group with Ben Savage. Jack Pinwild just coming up to the top. So here we go. We'll see if we can catch these for the end. How long we got? About 4Ks. Okay, so having to keep flicking backwards and forwards, so just to make sure that we don't miss that race between the women. I think it's safe to say that Jack Hindle will come away with this, unless he has unless he has a disconnect right at the end, which would obviously be unfortunate. Hopefully I haven't just cursed him there by saying that. And then Mark Daly could have just jumped from 6th to 3rd, with Nick Monroe being Nick Monroe having a disconnect. Yeah, it might be actually that Mark Daly has managed to come back from 6th to 3rd to get a podium, which is good. And that's actually, who else we got here? Or is it Tim? Have we got Tim Johnson in the group? Jack, Jonathan Warren, Adam Baker, who unfortunately hasn't completed all the races, so he doesn't qualify for essentially the GC part. Right, let's quickly just. I have to be really quick with my swaps here, because I'm really interested to see how this the women's race is doing. So bear with it when I swap over. Right, Rosie Wild, 3 seconds. So they've managed to bring her back, but Megan's now pushed up to 7 watts per kilo on this little climb here, which is quite typical. That she is just absolutely destroying every little climb that's coming, like it didn't exist. 5 seconds though, so let's see what Rosie's got left. I mean, I say she only needs to, but it's 19 seconds that the difference. So right, 7 seconds. Okay, let's go back over then to the men's. Jay Hindle, Jack, fan few for Jack. So as we're leaving there, Megan Walker, 7 seconds on Rosie Wild. Okay, here we go. There we go. Last few Ks now for these. Are there anyone going to try anything? And T Johnson just there as well. In Lewis, are they all? Let's see what the numbers are. Anyone the RAF trying to just take all the spots? It would seem so. What's the army going to say about that? There you go. A very dominant performance, we have to be said about the RAF here. They've definitely brought the strong team for this, and have thoroughly deserved the overall win, as well as the individual prize. So who's some? They've all started to pull away. Jack Hindle there has decided that he wants this one. He wants to finish it on top. Look at the numbers though. They've got sprinting. Jack here, yeah, I think he looks like he's clearly gonna have taken it, yeah, and then Jonathan Warren, Adam Baker, and then Mark Daly there. Well done to them. They've definitely rode strong throughout. Let's just go back over to the ladies and see what's happened with the women. Hopefully, come on, there we go. Rosie Wild, she's there 1 second on Megan Walker. So obviously I've not been able to catch everything, but here we go. Is this just in time for the climb as well? It looks like we're just in time for the climb. Good timing, right? This is it then. This is it. They're left together. So Megan has managed to, from the looks, well, has managed to attack enough that it is left between just her and Rosie Wild for the finish for this last time up the climb. All Rosie really needs to do is keep on the wheel. 7 watts per kilo already by Megan Walker there. She's already started to put the hurt in. What's Rosie going to do in response? 5.1, 5.1. She isn't getting the same numbers, unfortunately, but two seconds. What's Rosie got left? What's Megan got left? 6. Well, you can see what Megan's got left. She keeps pushing in these high numbers, even on the flatter sections. I mean, Rosie's done well, did well anyway with the help of Chanel Mason, just to get to the back onto the group, or back onto Megan from a shocking attack the last time up this climb on the north side. So 3 seconds. So currently that is now GC gap of 16 in Rosie's favour. Nearly there, nearly up there. They say the south section is actually the shorter of the two climbs, so it is. I say it's over quicker, but it is 6 point. Rosie's responded now in the 5 watts per kilo, 6 watts per kilo, reacting. Only 3 seconds still separates them. Rosie's managed to hold on to this at the top. Now it all boils down to what is left. What have they got left? They're going down now. Obviously, they won't be resting. This won't be a chance to actually rest now. This is a chance to see if we can bring any more. Bring any more of a gap. But it looks like Rosie's got the answer. She's only 1 second behind. I mean, what a race between these two, though. From the start of the championship, you know, they've duked it out and. Have definitely been exciting to watch these two race. As we see Rosie just taking that power, momentum through. Looks like we've got 10 people in chat, so please comment in the comments or in the live chat. Who's your money on for the women's individual? First of all, will Megan manage to do 19 seconds or 20 to actually win the overall championship? Or will Rosie manage to hold on? And also for the actual stage win itself, who's your money between there? Rosie Wild or Megan Walker? Megan, if you've just joined in, Megan's pretty much throughout the whole of this race just been constantly attacking every opportunity that she can, whilst Rosie and the Army women's team have responded with basically working as a team, to help Rosie bring out the gaps. But equally, Rosie has had to work herself in some cases to do that work herself. So now we're actually Rosie has pulled 3 seconds on Megan Walker. There we go. 5 seconds now Rosie has. So as Megan, I doubt Megan would have given up, because from the race that I saw last week for round 2 or stage 2, she never gave up even towards the end. But maybe all the attacks have left Rosie with not Rosie, sorry, Megan with not much left in the tank now. Rosie has indeed managed to pull a gap now. It's actually the first time that it's been the other way round. As we enter the actual enter Glasgow for the final 3Ks of the course. While we're just watching what seemed to be the victory lap for Rosie there, or actually that's just the 10 seconds as Rosie's bringing it home for the win. Just want to thank everyone for watching and for supporting this championship. Apologies for the quality of this one for those that have just joined or I've heard. I've had a few technical dramas tonight, which is basically this is me streaming off my iPhone. Yes, apologies for that. However, thank you for watching and supporting. Well done to all the riders from both the Army, the Navy, and the RAF for putting in a team for each stage, regardless of obviously the external commitment or the commitments that everyone has. And I appreciate that everyone is mega busy at the moment. So to put in a team has been great, and the support has been good. So yes, we'll look forward to, I believe, the Navy taking over the show next year, and I'll see what the Navy bring for the Inter-Services Championship. Yes. Cheers, Ian. Thank you. Thanks for your support. So yeah, that's a Rosie Wild there now. Just a couple more corners. See what we've got behind quickly. Don't want to watch me. So we've got Chanel Mason, who I would say there was the last rider to help out Rosie there. Managed to pull the gap on Megan after the terrifying attack off the north end of the Sigurd. It was a really good team effort from the Army. No, again, not taken away from Rosie's performance, because she's rode well, but definitely it had strength in numbers against Megan Walker today. But still, they all worked really well as a team to get the win. So yeah, Rosie Wild now just last bend. Let's just see if we get any live results. Looked like, unfortunately, from the men's race there was a few disconnects. Nick Monroe and Simon Richards being a few, but yeah, it seems like we've got the top 10 at least in for the men. And yeah, here we've got just Rosie now finally finishing, sorry, but that didn't come out right. Finishing, good stuff, well done to Rosie. And then Megan there, 10 seconds behind. Well done. So yeah, so it looks like initially the provisional stuff off Swift Power for the men's at the top 10 goes like this: Jack Hindle, Jonathan Warren. I knew I'd get it eventually. Adam Baker, Mark Daly, Tom Johnson, Ian Lewis, all RAF up to 6th. Tom McMulkin for 7th. Craig Morris for the Navy in 8th. Ben Savage for the Navy in 9th. Tim Robinson 10th for the Army, and Nobby 11th for the RAF, and Jack Pingwild there 12th for the Army. Let's just see who else we've got on course. A few more of the ladies now just coming up to the Sigor. It's Shaney. Yeah, I can never pronounce your surname. Apologies, Shaney. Just coming over the breakaway Bray. Let's just switch over, see if there's any men on course. No, not I can find easily anyway. Let's go back to me, and then let's see what we can find when we go back to me. No. Katie Pratt there from the Navy, just making the climb, and then gets to enjoy the descent. All in all, really strong ride from everyone. Yeah, this isn't the Muckle Yin isn't a fun course for sure, and yeah, to oh no, not just one lap but 2 laps is pretty gnarly. So yeah, well done to everyone. Again, thanks for everyone's time to check in and view it, and if you're watching later on, again, thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm going to sign off now. Have a good evening, everyone, and yes, we'll hopefully catch you for the next Inter-Service Championship or Inter-Service eRacing event that we have planned. Take it easy, have a good night, ride on.